What's up guys, Tipsy Gamer here. So we know we have at least 1, maybe even 2 years before the new generation of Pokemon drops. So I decided to come up with a brand new, totally original generation of Pokemon. I give you Pokemon Space and Time. This new high-tech modern version of Pokemon would introduce one game with 2 different storylines. Completion of the space timeline allows you to travel to a new galaxy where there's new futuristic Pokemon. Completion of the time storyline allows you to travel back to the prehistoric past, the beginnings of Pokemon. This game would feature all new starters, all new Pokemon, all new professors, new features, and even 3 new Pokemon types. We haven't seen a new Pokemon type since Fairy introduced in Gen 6. So let's introduce the 3 new types. The first of the new types is Chaos. This type would be known for its high attack power and status effects. Chaos would be super effective against Psychic, Fairy, and Electric, and it would be weak to Poison, Fighting, and Dragon. Some potential new Chaos moves could include Disarray Beam, which on your first move absorbs light, and on your second move unleashes chaotic beams that deals both high physical damage and confuses your opponent. Havoc Strike would unleash a ball of pure chaos on your opponent, but hit your own Pokemon with a 10% recoil. Pandemonium would be an attack on your opponent's status, lowering their speed, accuracy, and evasiveness. Some conceptual Pokemon could include brand new Pokemon and also new types of old original favorites, like a dark, chaotic Geodude. Our next new type would be Mystic, specializing in magic and honing high special attack power. Mystic types would be super effective against Normal, Dragon, and Ghost, and be weak against Psychic, Fairy, and Dark. Some hypothetical new Mystic moves could be Scepter, which conjures up a very sharp scepter and hurls it at your enemy anywhere from 2 to 5 times. Zenith Beam would be a high special attack powered move that launches a beam of pure magic that's all elements combined. Illusory Veil would cause hallucinations for your opponent, causing them to either fall asleep, experience paralysis, or confusion. The new Mystic type would feature both new Pokemon and dual types of old Pokemon we know and love. Our third and final new type would be the Tech type. This type boasts extremely high both defense and special defense. This new Tech type would be super effective against Flying, Steel, and Electric types and be weak against Water, Ground, and the new Chaos type. Some new possible moves could include Quantum Burst, where a ball of pure light explodes and strikes your opponent. Robo Surge would initiate a program that would automatically reduce your opponent's HP by 20% anywhere from 2 to 5 rounds. A Techno Shield move could conjure up a powerful shield that would not only raise your special attack, but would also ensure that you keep 1 HP and endure any hit, including a critical hit. This new Tech type would also feature new Pokemon as well as some dual types of our old favorites. I've also introduced 2 brand new features that I think are pretty cool. The first one is called TM Melding. You can find rare single-use items throughout the region to meld 2 TMs together to create one very powerful and for the very first time, dual type attack. These will come with a reduced accuracy as well as a max PP of only 5. For example, I could meld TM Thunderbolt and TM Fire Spin to make a brand new Thunder Spin attack. This would be a power of 120, but accuracy of only 50%. This new Thunder Spin move would not only be effective against Electric's weaknesses of Water and Flying, but also be effective against Fire's weaknesses of Bug, Steel, Ice, and Grass. Not every TM can be melded. The next new feature is attack stacking. Throughout the region, you can find single-use attack stack or hold items, and these items allow a Pokemon to, in their first move, choose a single move, and in their second round, choose a second move, and in the second time, hit with the power and type of both moves. You forego your first attack to double up your second. And now for the storyline. You're invited to study at the university in Aeropolis, and Aeropolis is the new region, which is a floating metropolis in the sky. You'll make your way through the various levels to get to the Elite Four at the very top. If you choose to go for the space storyline first, you'll be greeted by Professor Nebula, who is tirelessly working to build a spacecraft to explore a brand new galaxy that was just discovered. After beating the 8 gym leaders and the Elite Four, you're granted access to an area that's off limits to everybody else. While here, you encounter the space legendary Galaxara, and upon catching Galaxara, you and the professor discover that this Pokemon is the missing link to getting her spacecraft to work, allowing you to go explore this brand new galaxy. This new galaxy is inhabited by very strong, high-leveled, futuristic Pokemon. If you choose to start with the time storyline, you're first greeted by Dr. Kronos, and he is tirelessly working on creating a machine that can time travel back to the prehistoric era of when Pokemon and people were not yet a duo. After obtaining the 8 gym badges and beating the Elite Four, you're granted access to a special area off limits to everybody else. Here you encounter the Time's legendary Cyclocrayon, and you and the doctor soon discover upon catching this Pokemon that it holds the power to make his time machine work and thus transport you back to the beginnings, the origin of Pokemon. When you beat one version and start the next, you're faced with the choice of the same 3 starters. However, the storyline is slightly different, and your gym leaders, they're also going to have different types of Pokemon. In Pokemon Space, you land on a new planet in the new galaxy, and it's home to a sci-fi city built completely by tech Pokemon. It's inhabited by very strong, futuristic Pokemon, some of which are brand new, and some of which are future evolutions of Pokemon we know now. In Pokemon Time, you would arrive in a world purely inhabited by Pokemon, void of Pokécenters, gyms, and even houses, just nature and the original Pokemon. Here you would find all new Pokemon thought to be extinct now, and also some pre-evolutions of Pokemon we know today. These Pokemon would all be very high leveled, so it's recommended you bring a lot of Ultra Balls and a strong party with you to these new areas. So what do you guys think? Would you play Pokemon Space and Time? Should I send this to Game Freak? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe for more tipsy video game content.